Hey my friend, this is Bakhmoutski. I'm the author of Simplify Cancer and founder of Power to Be Happy. Listen, welcome to the 14-day lockdown challenge. How to stay sane, steady and strong in the time of uncertainty. Because isn't it like a crazy time that we're living right now? Like with this pandemic, like you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know, how things are going to turn out. And that's why I'm so glad that you're here. You're here with me and we're kind of going through this together. And the way this challenge is gonna work out is that every single day, we're gonna talk about one area of your life, during lockdown. So whether that's how to deal with worry, how to deal with with panicking, how to have more energy, like all of those things. We're gonna cover all that, but today, like right now, I want to start with probably the biggest thing that we are all facing right now, and that is uncertainty, right? Because we have no idea what's happening. We don't know when anything is gonna end. We don't know how it's going to impact our lives, right? So it's scary, and we don't know how to behave. We don't know what to do, and that's like one of those toughest things to deal with, because it's the biggest unknown of all. Like, who would have thought we would end up in this situation? And if if that's kind of freaking you out, then I gotta tell you that that's normal. It would be weird if it wasn't, right? This is the craziest probably thing that we face this century, and arguably probably since the Second World War, something that's really affected our lives on such a profound level, like basically everyone around the world, right? That's that's why it's a pandemic, right? But first of all, I want to talk to you about how I just look at uncertainty, because for me, and it's just, I guess, in my life and in my experience of going through cancer, going through chemotherapy and surgery, and really experiencing isolation and experiencing fear, and like basically staying away from people because I was afraid of picking something up, and because my immune system was just basically non-existent, right? So because of all of that, I really look at uncertainty in a slightly different way. I look at uncertainty as almost something that is positive. Because I tell you what, when I was going through cancer, there was a lot of certainty that, if I don't go through treatment right in that moment in time, or if that treatment doesn't work, like there was a lot of certainty that I'm going to die. That was the real certainty. That was the situation. There's no way around it. But right now, I gotta say, the uncertainty just means that yes, we don't know what's gonna happen. Yes, we don't know how this might affect our lives. But the reality is, you might not get the virus. Your loved ones might not get the virus. And even if you or your loved one even end up getting the virus, the chances are that we'll get through it and we'll come out of it the other side. So this doesn't mean that like this is the end, right? So the uncertainty in this case is actually a positive, right? Because things could turn out really well. It's so much worse to have certainty about something really awful, that is coming your way. So that's really, I guess, how I look at uncertainty, that it may be something that is almost a positive if we look at it in the right way, if we look at it and do the right things, right? Because we know that there's a lot that we do know about what's happening. We know that the governments are really scrambling to figure out the best way to deal with it. We do know that we've got basically scientists and pharmaceutical companies around the world and health authorities just absolutely doing their best. Our best medical minds are doing the best to help people who are going through it and figure out a vaccine and figure out antivirals. So we know there's so much that is going on. So we really want to look at uncertainty from the perspective of control. Because so much of the tension, the worry, the stress that we're experiencing right now is because we feel that we are losing control. But it's so key to really separate, what you're experiencing right now in terms of losing control, and really looking at things and redirecting your energy, and really all channeling everything that you're doing towards the things that you can influence in some way. I know it sounds kind of basic, but I think when we are going through this real uncertain time, it's really easy to lose sight of it. It's really easy to lose sight of that. There's actually things that we can influence and change up in a positive way. And that's what I want to talk about doing right now, so that you do it for the one that works for you and for your way of life. That's why I want to really share with you this simple exercise that I do myself whenever I'm faced with a situation that I really freaks me out and stresses me out, and I really want to be able to understand what is it that I can do in this situation, what is it I can do myself, what is within my control. I really want to draw the line, and that's why this exercise is called line of control. So you can download the worksheet below this video, but it basically works like this, right? You can print it out, do it on your computer, whatever works for you. But I'll just really describe it. If it comes down to this, you've got a piece of paper and you've got a line in between. And and on the left hand side, you write all the things that you cannot influence in any way, that you cannot control in any way, shape, or form. You put it all down and you really write it all out. And on the right hand side, you basically put all the things that you could influence in some way. Maybe you don't have complete control over it, but you could still influence it in some way. That is a crucial thing, right? When you write it all out. So please do that for yourself, because I tell you what, there are going to be things there that are going to surprise you. I'm telling you that right now, because there's things that you just don't expect. So when you go through this list, look at what you've got in there on each side and challenge it and say, well, could I really influence it in some way? And there will be things that, of course, you can't do anything about. But there will also be things that you could go, yeah, I could do something about it. I could, for example, lower my risk of really following, really great hygiene, really going out of my way to, just wash my hands every time I go out. I do that like crazy all the time, and I've been doing that for years, to be brutally honest with you, after my experience with cancer. So there's things that we can do, even when we feel helpless, even when we feel lost and confused. This is the time for us to really put aside things that you definitely cannot control. Like for example, when you look at your list, chances are you probably cannot control unless you're some incredible scientist. You cannot control when the vaccine is going to come out. And even if you are that scientist, there's so many things going around it. But, chances are that there are so many things that relate to you, to your life, to the circumstances, and how your attitude and your spirit, and how you carry yourself, how you are around other people. These are huge things that we absolutely have control over. So we want to really be focusing on that and putting all of our energy towards that. So what is it? What is it that you can do in your life right now? Who are the people that you can support? What can you do in terms of looking after yourself and in keeping your energy? And we're going to cover a lot of this stuff throughout this every day of the challenge. But what are some of the things that you could do right now, today? Things that you can do yourself that are within your sphere of influence one way or another. Whether you're at home with your loved ones, or maybe you're by yourself, whatever the case might be, I want you to know that you're not on your own, that we're in this together and we're going through this together. And that is important, to feel this sense of community, this sense of global community, because alone we suffer and together we hope. I want to thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to be with me today. Please do the worksheet. I'm telling you, there's going to be things that surprise you. And thank you for being a part of, this 14-day lockdown challenge and how to stay sane, steady, and strong in the time of pandemic. Thank you for being here again. I just want to quickly say to you, my friend, alone we suffer, and together we hope. Thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.